Okay, so this is the first video I've been doing in a while. We were cutting our neighbor's corn. It's Pioneer. It's doing pretty good. But we got over here last week. Today is Monday. We got over here last week, and the very first bend, the gearbox in the top of the auger busted. So we pulled that out, and then the vertical auger, the shaft, the inside shaft was all screwed up where the shaft goes. So we pulled that out, and if anybody knows about pulling the vertical auger out, it is the worst thing in the world to do. So we pulled the vertical auger out. You had to take the whole bottom gearbox off. So while we had that gearbox out, being it's such a nightmare, we went ahead and replaced the whole gearbox. So we spent quite a bit of money, but Cheeto said that it was here, let me stop and get you facing. Hold on. Alright, so Cheeto said that it was the original part, so that's pretty sweet that it's lasted, because this combine is not a new combine. We would never pay $1 million for a new combine, even though we would like to have one. It's stupid to do it. Even to use one at $500,000-$600,000, to me it's stupid. We bought farms way cheaper than that. But people do it, so whatever. I don't know how this guy planted this farm, but it drives me crazy. We didn't plant this farm. I know who planted it, but I ain't gonna say it. But it just drives me crazy the way that it is planted. But yeah, so the gearbox busted. So they had all the parts except for the lower gearbox. And I had to leave. That broke on a Wednesday or Thursday. I had to leave and go to Miss Eastern Shore Farmer and I. She had to go to the doctor in Ohio, but we purchased a house in Western Maryland, in Friendsville, Maryland to be a fact. It's about 5 minutes from McHenry, Deep Creek Lake. That's our dream, to have a home up there. We do several Airbnbs up there, and I'm tired of paying. It's now, I'm not saying it's not worth it. You know, $5,000-$6,000 for 1 week, because it is convenient. I would rather do an Airbnb before I do a hotel, because it's just as expensive, really. But we take the kids and everybody up there, but we go up there several times a year. Up there, and we enjoy it. So my parents have a house up there, so we thought we'd get a house up there. So we actually bought a really nice house. It does need some work done to it. If anybody's in the market, our realtor, Nick Orr, he fought for us, helped us out. It's Rayleigh Realty is who we went through, and that dude was spot on with a lot of things. We started having problems with the previous owner about negotiating prices after we'd already discussed prices, and the title company was good. The mortgage lender that we went through, they were a little bit of a pain in the ass. They'd tell you one thing, and then you had to, I don't know, it was just a nightmare. But at the end of the day, it all worked out. We got our house. I had to run her to Ohio, so I dropped her off, came back, started doing some work to the house. It's not move-in ready, it's stay ready, but we kind of want to do some things to it, and so we're not gonna. Anyway, Gary, you've seen him on there. He did my kitchen. He's my buddy that comes down and hunts. He is going to be. Him and I next week are going to be going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to be going up. He's like an electrician, a plumber, a builder, and he's a very good friend, because he's going to drive up there to help me get this house straight. I am going to get a painter in there to paint the really big room. It's 3,700 square foot, but the painter's going to do the really big rooms, and then I'm going to do like the bedrooms, bathrooms, just smaller stuff. But the ceilings are like 20 foot high. I can't get up there and paint, so I had a professional painter talk to him. 3.5 acres is pretty cool. I got some trail cams up there. I already got a bunch of bucks on there, broad daylight. And I put them up at the house. Like, they walk, they pretty much walk right in front of your yard and your house with no cares in the world. And not that we're gonna try to shoot them. I just thought it'd be neat to see it. Plus, they got bears up there. I would like to see a bear on a trail camera walking in my yard. Because where I live, you know, I don't see that stuff every day. But anyway, get to the point of the story. I got off track. Everything broke. Cheeto and them guys, East New Market, they had all the parts except for the bottom gearbox, and there wasn't, and not that anything was wrong with it, but there was really no sense of putting everything new in and leaving that old bottom gearbox. So we went ahead and put that in there, because just with the price of equipment and commodity prices and the input prices, we're not going to get a new combine soon. I'd rather update the sprayer, you know, just little stuff, update the sprayer and some other things, and before I get the combine, because it's still a good combine, but you know, you always want a new one, but it is what it is. Not giving them that much money. So we got it just to get it back together. We got most of the bin empty on the ground, took the loader, dumped it in the trailer. I had to scrape very little in the bin, so that works out good when that stuff happens. And yeah, so that's what's been going on. I've been away, taking care of the house, driving her because she had surgery, so I've been taking her to get her checkups and stuff. And Ohio, you know, it's not like it's right around the corner for us. You know, it's 10 hours away from us. But so we got that done. She's still up there. I left her up there. She's going to spend time with kids and some of her friends while she's up there. And then when I go back to Deep Creek, possibly next week, to work on the house, I'll either get somebody to meet her, they can see if they can bring her down, at least save me an hour or something, and or something. We'll figure something out so I don't have to drive the full 10 hours, and then we'll be going back to Deep Creek, or I might just leave her the heck up there. And me and Gary, I told him to bring his golf clubs, because up in the mountains, I think it's the coolest thing in the world to play golf up in the mountains. It's all flat here. So I'm cutting around the woods, so that's probably why you're not seeing any corn in. I left a couple rows, and it's Mr. Johnny's corn, so I'm gonna try and get everything I can for him, and he's my boy. And so I'm just finishing up the 3 rows that I left. We took the loader and actually pushed around some of these trees in that were like in the damn way. And so I'm just trying to get what I can for them. I love these doors. Sorry, you're not even gonna get that. I love these doors on this combine that fold over, because you can hold like a really gigantic load of corn. I think it's 400 bushel tank. But the problem is they stick out. And you can rip them off very easy. And we've chipped the corners of them several times. So, but anyway, that's just the update. That's why I haven't posted anything. I will be starting the videos back. This is the start of one of them. And yeah, so that's what's been going on. The combine's been broken down for almost a week. I've been away. And but now I'm back. I'm getting ready to leave again. So I'm trying to get as much done as humanly possible. And then we got to get 700-800 acres of wheat in. And so yeah, so I got to try and get a bunch. And then we've had a whole shit ton of rain. So this week, so the fields are wet. I can't get the wheat in. Corn's a little wet, but the storm. I think there's a couple hurricanes off the Atlantic, off our coast, because we're right on the coast. And so we're going to try to get some of this done. So see you later. All right, good morning. We are changing the tires over on the spreader. putting the big fat floaters on. Taking the skinnies off, the row crop, and getting the fat ones on for flotation. Plus, these right here, I need to make them last a couple more years because they're about $5,000 a piece. So we're going to use the fat tires, and they got brand new tread on them. Plus, it just makes it better for flotation. And I need them on next year anyway for watermelon ground. They prefer the fat tires. And so once we put them on now, they'll be on for wheat, cover crop, and then next year's fertilizer, pre-fertilizer, before I have to switch them for row crop fertilizer. So we're getting it done. I don't get sponsored by all these fancy jack companies, so we got to go the old-fashioned way, one at a time, with the bracket and the air jack. That's how we got to do it. I'm not a big YouTube guy where I get one of those tire grapplers or whatever, where they got the jack picks the whole frame up and then you grab the wheel with the gripper and just set it on so convenient. I ain't made it there yet. I'm not Millennial Farmer or Brian's farming videos or whatever you call them. So, but it works. It's a little bit of work, but we get it done. So it's a little unsafe, but we get it done. Air jack definitely makes a big difference. So that's what's going on. Got the combine, got corn done yesterday. It was 5 o'clock we got done, and I wasn't going to be dealing with that 5 o'clock traffic. So we brought the combine home this morning at 4 o'clock through town, not a single soul. So we're going to get this done, get our wheat trailers set up, either spread wheat, start working it in, or I'm going to blow the combine off, unhook the corn head. We got to put the sieves in the back and get everything ready for soybeans. We're still about 2 weeks out from soybeans, a week and a half, 2 weeks. So my brother's got one more load of straw he's got to haul, and then he's done. And then he'll be able to help us on the farm doing a bunch of stuff. So that's what's going on today. The bad thing about these things, $700,000, and they work 1 month a year, and then they sit the rest of the time. It makes no sense. But, you know, it's hard to pay for, but I'm doing it. But yeah, they work a month a year, hard and steady, and then they sit the rest of the time. It's crazy. It's crazy to own one. It's really expensive to own one. And people complain about what you charge per acre. All right, we got one on. Got the back one off. They're going out to get the other fat one. So there's the difference. Tread, how fat it is. Skinny, hardly any tread. We're getting it done. It's a lot of work. These tires, especially those tires, are very freaking heavy. I mean, that is a ton of work trying to get them up there. If I had one of them tire grabbers for the bobcat, I could just put it up, spin it, push it on, but you know, that's 10 grand. I'd rather do it the dangerous way than spend 10 grand. 10 grand I don't have for a jack. It's crazy a jack costs that much, but it is what it is. So, my girl is skinny in the summer, and I like her fat in the winter. All right, so Derek's going down the nutrient calibrator for wheat. She was calibrated last year, but we're going to calibrate her again, new wheat, make sure she's right. So if anybody wants any cover crop done in the area, she will be calibrated, and Derek gets them right. There she goes. He was trying to get my green lights to work. I got the green lights underneath of her. I must have a wire broken. But he's going to go get her calibrated. We're going to start wheat today. He's going to calibrate her. I'm going to go down there and pick her up in a little while. We're supposed to be delivering a lot of wheat. Plus, we plant our own wheat also. We got everything set up, ready to go. So, everything will be ready today. We're going to, while he's doing that, Bullwinkle and I are going to, I got sieves back there in the box, sieve and chaffer. I'll get ready to blow the combine off, unhook the corn head,
We're gonna back her in and put the new sieves and chaffer in. Put the new sieves, chaffer in, get that all done this morning, and get her switched over for soybeans. Beans aren't quite ready. They probably need another week, and then they'll be ready. But we're gonna get everything done this morning on the combine, and then we'll go ahead and he should have her calibrated by then. I'm gonna go down there and pick her up, bring her back, and we're gonna start rolling some wheat acres. We're gonna do about 800 acres this year. I'm not a wheat fan, but Big Lou is, so we're gonna do about 800 acres. And the way it looks this year, our wheat beans are gonna outperform our early beans. So I think we averaged right around 98. I think total it was 98 bushels an acre of wheat that we averaged over everything. So we got a good crop of wheat, and then now it looks like we're going to get a pretty good crop of soybeans behind it. So that's pretty good. We had 800 acres of wheat, 850, something like that. I can't remember. And then you put them double crops in, so it's 1,600 and some acres, 1,700 acres of good crops. Price shitty, but hey, it is what it is. So we'll see. The early beans, they look good, but you don't know till you get out there. Some of them look small, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, right now it is what it is, so it doesn't really matter. So the grain cart has been more valuable. Now we're unloading wheat into it. We're gonna put the hopper into that, and then I pull underneath the spout and keep the spreader going. And Big Lou said that grain cart wasn't a good idea. What the hell? I told you, man. That's the best thing that we bought. And it was cheap. It wasn't even expensive. All right, so I'm going to go spread wheat. I got loaded with a load. There's my spinner. There's the sides. So I've already spread 18 acres nutrient. Like I said, I picked it up from Nutrient today. They calibrated it, got it right, because they told me it would do 18 acres and I'd done 17.8, and I had a little teeny bit left. I didn't want to run the belt completely empty, so old Derek's got her spot on. These are the wheat beans. You can see they're starting to die. I think our wheat beans are going to be awesome. They were starting to look bad, but man, we started getting rain and they have really turned on. They are definitely going to outperform our early beans by far. So I'm gonna go get this wheat spread. You'll see here in a minute.